Charlie on Smart Home. So a lot of the integration that I can show off today, I've actually worked very closely with the partners on, so I'm really excited to demo this out for you guys. So why don't we just get started? So imagine this to be your kitchen, and in the morning you want to say something like good morning, so you want to set the scene. So you can say something like, Alexa, turn on good morning. Alexa, turn on good morning.
It's too loud here.
Yeah, there's a lot of ambient noise, unfortunately. As you can see now, the shades are going up, the lights behind you is turned on to 100%, lights over here is turned on, and the TV has turned on behind you there, and is on the sports section. That is a Control 4 scene, and I'm sure you're all familiar with Control 4. So what happens is we have recently worked with them to enable this kind of native support for scenes, so that they can expose all the scenes that they can create for customers, such as good morning, or cooking, or dining, or good night. All that gets automatically exposed to Alexa as scenes that they can control, and now we have voice enabled it. It used to be previously that we could only control individual devices, individual thermostats. Now we can do scenes, so it opens up a lot of flexibility for partners to do cool things like this. Another example of that, there is a video camera just out there. It's a security camera. So Control 4 has implemented something where you can say, Alexa, turn on the front door camera. Alexa, turn on the front door camera. So if you see the TV behind you there, it's now streaming from that camera. So again, this is something that Control 4 has set up. So just to give you an idea of how all this works, which is really the cool part. There, somewhere. Okay.
I thought Alexa did that.
It's not definitely not Alexa.
No, it's not Alexa.
It's not Alexa's sound. So the way that this works is when I say Alexa, turn on the front door camera. The voice and my speech is streamed to Amazon into our cloud, where we figure out that you said turn on the front door camera, and we figured out from that you want to turn on a front door camera that belongs to Control 4. So then, once we figured all that out, we send that request over to Control 4 in their cloud. Control 4 then knows that it needs to turn on the front door camera, or rather run that scene for this particular user. It sends those requests all the way down to here, which then turns on the TV, turns on the camera, streams it over there. When that's done, it goes all the way back up to Control 4's cloud. It comes over to Amazon, where we create the response that says, okay, and stream that down to the device. All that happens within roughly 2 seconds.
A lot of variables.
A lot of things.
So not so much with no internet.
Pardon me? Yeah, that's right. Not so much when there's no internet. So that's kind of how all this works. And again, this has made it easy for us to integrate because we don't have to worry about controlling individual devices. We let the partner do that because they know it best, right? They know how to control the devices. We just help enable that through our speech recognition and natural language understanding. So huge value add for our partners, but also huge value add for us, because now partners like Control 4 or Lutron or Nest are able to create these skills and expand the capabilities of Alexa without us having to do that work. So it's a win-win for everybody.
What's Alexa communicating over Wi-Fi?
It's Wi-Fi. So that was the smart home API integration. Another integration that you will see with Crestron is they've created something called a Crestron custom skill. And I can actually demo that using the Bose device that's right behind the TV there underneath. So that is a Bose SoundTouch 20. It's a Wi-Fi enabled Bose speaker. Very good quality speaker. Some of you may have in your home. And I've actually worked with the Bose engineers to create this particular custom skill that I can demo today. So I can say something like, Alexa, ask Bose to play preset 1 in the kitchen.
Okay.
As you can see, it turned on preset 1 and it's playing preset 1, which is music Pandora, in that device which is located in the kitchen. We can do things like, Alexa, ask Bose to turn it up. Alexa, ask Bose to turn it up.
Okay.
That increases the volume. And Alexa, ask Bose to stop. Alexa, ask Bose to stop.
Okay.
So, as you can see, those are kind of the interactions that Bose actually implemented. Like, we don't know Bose customers very well, but Bose knows their customers very well. They know that their customers like to use presets. They know that these are the things, these are the kind of interactions that they use. So they've created this whole custom kind of interaction model that works very well with the Bose device. And so that's a skill that I'm really super excited for them to launch over the next little while for their Bose customers. And again, our job as Amazon is we provided them with the platform and the speech recognition and natural language understanding capabilities so that they can enable voice interaction very easily for their customers.
Can you have multiple Alexas in the house?
Absolutely. Each Alexa will operate independently. You can have as many Alexa-enabled devices as possible. So actually, that's a great segue into my next point.
Can two people talk to different Alexas at the same time?
They can, absolutely. We will do,
Lots of good questions.
depending on what you're doing, it might do something weird, but we can.
Oh, we
Absolutely.
can, okay.
So this actually is a good segue into my third point. So far I've talked about software integration, like building skills. But our third way of integrating Alexa into everyday life for folks is through something we call Alexa Voice Service, or AVS. And AVS is our way of enabling device manufacturers to bring Alexa into their devices. This here is a Nucleus video intercom. Itself works great as an intercom, but it's able to use Alexa in it because they work with us to enable Alexa. So, for example, I can use this as if I'm using Echo. And so, for example, if this is the only device I have in my bedroom, I can say, Alexa, turn on Good Night. And what that does is it turns on my light here, turns off that light, the shades come down. This is running the Good Night scene from Control 4. It is the exact same scene that's enabled in my account, but I could have run through this Echo or through an Echo Dot on my account. Doesn't matter. And that's how we get Alexa into all devices, well, hopefully into many more devices in the future, so that it's everywhere. I apologize, I've been asked by my colleague to rush people along, so if you could all
They went
go
like
to-
this.
That's right, you all go into the restaurant room so that you can experience the restaurant custom skill.
Levick. I'm a voice designer on Alexa Smart Home. We're really excited to share what we've been working on with these integrators, with these manufacturers the last couple months.
I'm Lindsay Manelia. I'm a user researcher on the Alexa Smart Home team.
Right, so at a high level, what I'm going to speak to today is general smart home control. There's two flavors of that. Now, both of those flavors or integrations are available for both Control 4 and Crestron. I want to be very explicit about that. What you saw in the last room, turn on Good Morning, turn on Cooking, turn on the under cabinet lights, that granular control of both individual devices, rooms, and scenes is available for both Crestron and Control 4. So I'm going to turn on the fan.
Anybody else?
There's a whole list of them. Lutron, Raw 2, and Homer's QS is in the room next door, I believe. URC is working on a skill with us. The list goes on. I talked to the folks at their booth. They said they may not be the first, but it is something that they have the capability to support. Alexa, turn on fan. I'm waiting for that one myself. All right, so just like the last room, I can just say, Alexa, turn on fan, and the fan comes on. Now, what we are going to speak to in this particular room is the use of what we call Alexa custom skills. And what you'll see in the utterances around the room is the use of more natural language to talk to non-individual devices in rooms, but have the ability to make your restaurant system intimately aware of what you want and what you're doing. So I'll give you an example real quick. Alexa, tell restaurant I'd like to wake up in the bedroom. So now what you can see is I've started the wake up scene. The shades go on, the lights pop on, and I can start starting my day. I don't have to remember what the wake up scene is called, whether or not Alexa turn on Good Morning. I don't have to remember as a customer that the scene's called Good Morning. All I have to do is tell my restaurant system via Alexa what I'm going to do and where I'm going to do it. This is an additional custom skill that Crestron's put together. You could write your very own custom skill. I said I am a designer on the project, and that means I do not ship any code relative to Alexa Smart Home. I was able to set up my own custom skill. I have a custom skill called Jarvis. So I'm not Iron Man, but in my own four walls, I like to think so. I say, Alexa, tell Jarvis to wake up in the morning at 8 o'clock. So So what this does programmatically is it resets the scheduled good morning scene to 8 o'clock. I no longer have to find my smartphone app, drill into that particular scheduled scene to set my alarm in the morning. My only alarm is my smartphone. So, and that's an example of me creating a custom skill. The world's your oyster. Go on, if you haven't picked up a pamphlet at the front of the booth, all the links are there to enable you to do that. There's plenty of webinars to figure it out and sample code.
Yeah, and so that service is called Ask. It's Alexa Skills Kit, and then that's the dev portal at the bottom of that pamphlet right there. Yep, exactly. So that's one of our services. The other service that we offer is AVS. It's Alexa Voice Service, and so any sort of hardware device, if a company is building something like Nucleus, or a piece of hardware that you want Alexa supported on, that's something that you would go look online for AVS, and you can find out how to best support that. All of those services, once they're on the device, are free. There's no additional charge for after using it, basically, after you purchase the original hardware. That's the same thing for our products. So just to really give you a high-level overview of what Alexa is. So Alexa is our voice platform. That is not the hardware itself. We have a family of devices that all are enabled with Alexa. So this is our Amazon Echo, which I'm sure all of you know. It has several speakers in there that produce a very high-quality, room-filling sound. The top of it has 7 microphones, and it has 3 on either side. One on the top, it really helps to narrow in on who is speaking. That's what we call our beamforming technology. So with that, so you can say,
Alexa.
So you can see the dark ring, which is canceling out other noise within the room and focusing on the person that's speaking to her. The device needs to always be plugged in, and it's connected to the cloud. So what that means is that you install an app from your app store, you connect it to the device, you go into your settings, connect it with the device, then you go and pair it with the internet, with the cloud. And then she's all set up, ready to use. That's unlike our tab, they're all set up the same way, but the tab itself it's mobile, so you don't need to have it plugged in all the time. But that one is still functional without being plugged in or connected to the internet, so it's more like a Bluetooth speaker. But if it were connected to the internet, it has all of Alexa's features and functionalities. So the Dot actually has none of the speakers below. It has a small speaker that you can still hear Alexa out of it, still hear music and wherever you want to play. It's just not that robust sound. It still has the microphones at the top and the beamforming technologies. We just announced our V2 of Echo Dot, and the Dot, one cool feature that we're launching with is ESP. That means that if you have multiple devices around in your home that are close together, sometimes right now if you say Alexa, they will all start listening. If you don't have, with this feature, it'll just focus on the one that's closest to you, so they're not listening. And the other thing with the Dot, it's still a hands-free experience. It needs to be plugged in, unlike the Tap, like I mentioned. And I think that's about it for the product specs.
The most important part about the Dot is because we changed from this volume knob that our users weren't using, because our echo cancellation is so good and she can still hear the wake word no matter how loud your speakers were. They were saying, Alexa, turn down the volume. Alexa, volume 6. I'm very happy with that. So we removed this really expensive dial and almost cut the price in half. So the Dot starts at $49.98 at the time. So in a house with 10 Dots previously, we're saving you around $400 in cost.
Well, the Dot with smaller ones.
Yeah, it's the...
So the other important thing too about that is, because it doesn't have the speakers, you can pair it with other Bluetooth speakers around your home to get that same sound. So Alexa will come through on those speakers, as well as you can audio out, so you can plug it into any sort of home system. And she's actually coming through those speakers. The other important thing that I want to mention with her is that privacy is very important to us, building our customers' trust. We're going really fast here. So with that, we have the name of Alexa. She's only listening for that name, so those sound waves. So she will hear only when you say that. If you have an Alexa or Alex in the home, it means that you probably should switch it to any of our other names, to Echo or Amazon. And so with that, if she's listening to that, also if you have any concerns whatsoever, you can always mute it on the top. She's not listening, we're not recording anything. If you want to say anything with Alexa on there, you need to unmute it and then talk to her again. Right. So if you guys, that's the end of our demo. If you guys have any questions, please talk to anyone on the outside about anything that you saw here today. We're really excited for this possibility.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just have to-